Good morning, and welcome to a city that doubled for Havana, Cuba, and James Bond, Die Another Day. We're in Cadiz, Spain. Now, Cadiz, Spain is basically one big island. There's only one main bridge on and off the island. Just to give you an idea, its population is about 120,000 people and in an area of 4.6 square miles. I mean, basically it's dense and packed full of people for that size. Now, they say this city is like no other city in Spain. Let's go find out. Here we are, friends. Another city in another country. If you're curious just like I am, hit that subscribe button. Join me on the adventure. Up ahead, rising quickly from the heart of Cadiz, the monument of the Constitution of 1812 stands tall, a reminder of history, resilience, and the voices that once shaped the city. There's something grounding about approaching it, like stepping into a story that's been waiting long before you arrive. And then, just beyond the stunning structure, the path softens. A tunnel of blooming trees, brushed in shades of purple, gently sways overhead, sunlight slipping through the petals as if time itself has slowed down. For a moment, there's nowhere else to be. But Cadiz has a way of pulling you forward. The streets narrow, choices multiply, left, right, or straight ahead. No map, no rush, just instinct and curiosity guiding the way, because sometimes the best part of the journey is not knowing exactly where it leads. Alright friends, I'm doing what I do best, kind of wandering right now, and I'm walking through these alleys, and it's really reminiscent of Puerto Rico, or maybe like a Caribbean country. It doesn't really feel like Spain too much from what I've been at. And there's nobody around. There's behind me. Behind me again. It's 10:30 here. Looks like the city's still asleep. Trying to make my way into some type of plaza. It seems like one of the most popular plazas here. And hopefully there'll be some people there that we can talk to. Learn a little bit about the city. Oh, they sleep all day. And finally, a street that shows some type of life. Tucked within the winding paths of Cadiz, the energy shifts. Locals chattering, shop doors open, and the air filled with the scent of fresh meats, sweet candies, and sizzling tapas. It's the kind of place where you don't just pass through, you slow down. And just like that, the decision makes itself. A quick breakfast stop. Nothing fancy, just something real. A warm coffee, fresh juice, and a simple traditional sandwich. Sometimes that's all you need to feel completely connected to the moment. Alright friends, so we are just now eating breakfast. We're headed up to a tower for a viewpoint of the whole entire island. But like I said, breakfast is quaint. It's kind of funny because in the picture you can see that I had a ham and cheese sandwich, which is basic with butter, and they gave me a knife and fork with it. And it's like, here, I guess everybody's a little dainty here, but I mean, I'm a guy, so I'm gonna eat it with my hands. Everybody's just looking at me like American caveman. Damn straight. So, anyways, breakfast was good. Coffee was amazing. Orange juice was really good, and I'm not a big fan of orange juice, but this orange juice almost tastes like a sweet tangerine, or maybe like a very, very sweet, underdeveloped orange. So it wasn't real pungent. Very good though. All right, next stop. All right, friends, 173 stairs. Here we go. You know how I feel about stairs. Stairs are evil. Very evil. All right, another level of hell now. A spiral staircase. All right, so now after the spiral staircase of death, we're going up more stairs. They're never ending. I'm getting punished for eating with a knife and fork, without a knife and fork. And here's, I can't make this up. Here's what's ahead of me. Complete torture. Another spiral staircase of death. 173 steps later, the climb inside the tower finally gives way to something unforgettable. At the top, Cadiz opens up in every direction, a full 360-degree view where the city meets the sea, rooftops stretching endlessly under the Spanish sun. It's quiet up here, like the noises of the streets never quite make it this far. And then, off in the distance, there she is, my Carnival cruise ship, waiting patiently along the horizon, a small reminder of the journey that brought me here and the one still waiting ahead. Hey, this is On the Ship, Brian. So just to give you an idea, the vantage point where we are in the middle of the town looking at the ship, I'm back on the ship looking at the vantage point right there, and there's the building, and I'll zoom in on it for you. And now back to the tour of Cadiz, but one other thing. Hit that subscribe button. I mean, hit it like you're hitting a stepchild. Do that for me, folks. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the tour. All right, friends, we are just getting out of the tower. Stairs of doom, stairs of death are behind us now, but that being said, it's beer 30 because our knees are screaming right now. But a couple of interesting facts that Cadiz became a major trading port here in Spain. And I mean, all kinds of things like tobacco, tomatoes, gold, silver, sugar. And it actually became a very rich port. I mean, it's so tiny. I mean, like I said in the beginning, it's 4.5 square miles. And in 1812, it was under siege, and they were attacked by Britain with the French as defenders. And the curious thing, 10 years before that, they were attacked by French with Britain as their defenders. So in a matter of 10 years, your allies change. I guess sometimes that can be said for modern day. You know, your friends of today aren't your friends of tomorrow. Something to think about, folks. All right, onward to beer. All right, so here's our update, folks. Mission impossible, but we overcame it. We found a beer. Everything's in little tavernas here, and they have like little tapas menus, so like little bites. So I just figured I'd order something to give it a try. Here's the pictures of what I ordered. The first one's going to be a fried tuna over French fries. Never had it, and so it happens. And the next one is going to be boiled shrimp. So you kind of know what you're getting, but in Spain, the shrimp are supposed to be amazing. So we're going to test that out. So our next adventure, let's delve into the food of Cadiz. All right, so a couple of things to talk about. As I was walking, the food was just okay. The shrimp were good. Maybe they were brined in some type of salt water, but I mean, I've never had shrimp like that before. I mean, they're very small shrimp, so they're not the big ones. So it's kind of like, I consider that's what we use for bait back home. I mean, sad but true. But they were very salty, so I'm not overly salty, but they just seem like they're brined with something. As far as the tuna was really weird. You could swear you're eating like a pot roast. It's thick, it's not flaky, and it was covered with an onion, like some type of onion marmalade. It was very weird. I wouldn't order it again, but I'm still, to this day, still this moment, I'm still thinking that I had beef, some type of pot roast. So that was the consistency of it. So we tried something new. Was it a win? I don't think so, but hey, we tried it, you know. All right, catch up with you in a few. All right, friends, well, we're in the market that I wanted to present to you, but apparently it's closed. All of the outside places were open, but there's only a few places that are open in here. But as you can see here, let me show you what I'm looking at. All of these are individual markets where they're selling seafood and dairy and like donuts and stuff like that. You just buy it, or you can buy it raw and cook it here. But apparently today is Sunday, so they're closed. We only have a couple markets outside here like this. So I might look at a couple of these and see if there's anything interesting here. Stand by. All right, friends, so we just left the market. There wasn't really anything in there. They had a couple wine and tapas bars open, but I'm not a wine drinker, and mainly the tapas were just like squid, olives. Nothing really looked good to me. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but it's just not my taste. So we're gonna wander around a little more and start making our way back to the ship. I'll update you if I find anything, and if not, then I'll do close out with you in a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me ask you, if you find this interesting, and you like what I'm saying, hit that subscribe button. On the way back, I walk a section of the coastline. The city slowly gives way, where the buildings of Cadiz meet a rugged, rocky shoreline and the sea takes over. And just beyond, the golden dome of Cádiz Cathedral rises into view. Standing here since the 18th century, built between two eras, blending Baroque and neoclassical design, quietly watching over the city and the sea. Oh, come on. You know I can't go back to the ship without checking it out. Let's go. All right, so I have to say McDonald's for the win. Extreme pulled pork burger. It was good. It's like a sweet barbecue. It had some type of like cream-based sauce on it, maybe like that white barbecue sauce. Pretty good. Would I do it again? Absolutely. So while we're at it, though, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Hit it like you're beating somebody. Do me that favor. Thank you. So we're gonna call it a day. We had a pretty good adventure here in Cadiz. I think we saw a lot of the people, a lot of the community. We saw some food. We had some drinks. We got a vantage point up in 173 stairs. And I think we pretty much covered it all. Like I said, there's only 4.6 square miles, so there's not much you can do, but for being that little space, I think we rocked it, folks. So I'm gonna head back to the ship, and our next stop, I believe, will be Malaga. I don't know anything about it, but as usual, that's what we do here. We put one foot in front of the other, and we figure it out. Thanks for joining me. Be safe, be adventurous.